excuse me, can you sit here?
Sure. You see the doctor?
No, not yet.
No yet.
Yeah. Is this a good hospital?
Yeah,
Good doctor? You see, I'm a little nervous.
yeah, I can
Because,
see.
yes, I'm nervous about explaining to the doctor
yeah.
what is really wrong. Because I have a burning
Anxiety.
stomach.
Anxiety.
No, burning heart, burning
heart.
stomach in the morning, in the afternoon, and evening.
Caleb Majuskin?
There's definitely a level of ease that's present when you're speaking in your mother language. First of all, you have the more precise vocabulary, and that is so important when you're trying to explain symptoms that you're feeling or your emotions that you're feeling, because those play a very critical role in how they're going to interpret what's happening to you medically and emotionally. I mean, if we're talking about someone that has mental health issues and you're asking them to speak in their second language, it's just not the same. It's not the same kind of emotions that you're portraying, the same preciseness of what you need. So you need to receive medical attention or help or any kind of support in your mother language. That way you're using the right words, you're using the right expressions, and there won't be this misinterpretation or misinformation.
Jean-Yves Bernard?
Oui,
Bonjour.
Yeah, c'est comme
c'est
Longtemps?
bon.
Oh, he speaks French.
Yeah.
Oui.
Oh, I'm so happy because I was, comment dirais-je?
Ne-
Worried.
Nerveux, inquiet.
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 Oh,
Derek
vous parlez
Canny?
français?
Oui.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour. Ça va?
Ça va, monsieur? Vous parlez français?
Ben oui.
Oh, quel soulagement, merci.
OK, on s'en va à la première
Merci,
droite.
monsieur.
Première porte à droite.
Ben, dans notre communauté, il y a évidemment des francophones qui viennent de partout. Donc, in our community, there are francophones that come from all over. There are francophones from here who come from Hearst, Kapuskasing, etc. Et puis, le plus que le temps avance, le plus qu'on a des immigrants qui proviennent peut-être de l'Haïti. Also, there are francophones who come from all over the world. As time goes on, there are francophones from Haiti, Cameroon, or elsewhere in Africa who have different accents or whose maternal language is not French, for example, Creole. But their second language is French, and then it's English. So there are already some difficulties in terms of language acquisition. Because there's a level of comfort already in French, it is better to serve those clients in French. That would be the ideal situation. Desservir ces clients-là, ça serait évidemment l'idéal.
J'ai fait quelques stages dans le nord de l'Ontario.
I've done several placements in Northern Ontario in small mining communities. I know that the border with Quebec is nearby and that there are many Quebecers who come to work.
Il y a beaucoup de Québécois qui viennent pour travailler. Puis dans beaucoup
In
de
many
cas,
cases, they can speak English at work, but they know only their work vocabulary.
dans leur vie quotidienne.
At home, it's more often in French, so it's difficult to express themselves in English at the hospital.
S'exprimer en anglais à l'hôpital. Peut-être qu'ils ont peur d'aller
Perhaps they're
à
afraid to go to the
l'hôpital parce
hospital
qu'ils savent
because they'll be obliged to speak in
qu'ils vont devoir
English.
s'exprimer en anglais. Et donc, peut-être ça prend plus de temps.
So they may wait before going to the hospital and their illness may worsen.
Peut s'empirer. Alors, je pense qu'il est très important.
So I think it's very important that when they arrive at the hospital, that French language services are obvious.
Ça leur donnerait plus la chance de mieux s'exprimer.
This will allow them to express themselves better and to feel more comfortable and to help solve their medical problems.
Aider leurs problèmes de santé.
Étant une communauté francophone,
We are a francophone community where we are the majority, almost 90%, I would say. It is certain that it is important that we are able to respond to the demands of our francophone clientele in their own language.
Parce que ici, contrairement à d'autres communautés,
Here, it is taken for granted.
le français prédomine.
Unlike many other communities, French predominates. We have unilingual francophones who expect a continuity in the services when they go outside the community. When they go to another community, they still want services in French.
Tout le monde, tous les organismes publics devraient être capables de...
In an ideal world, all public institutions should have the human resources to offer those services to those who need them.
Parce que bien malheureusement,
Sadly, it is not the case in many places. It is not as high on the list of priorities that it merits.
Haut dans la liste de priorités que ça devrait être.
Here in Hearst, most people are francophone, so they demand services in French. They have a right to as well because of the French Language Services Act. It is important because even in Ontario, not everyone is bilingual. For example, young children are around 6 or 7 before they learn their second language at school. People don't necessarily communicate in their second language. I think about seniors or more vulnerable people who don't have the facility or who don't understand English very well.